Hello. Okay, guys, we are live. So I guess we can start now. We are pretty much late, but let it be. This live stream will be saved. So let's begin. So, hello everyone, this is me Viraj aka Harshal Jain, and today we are going to finish this card page, including the checkout section. Also, as you can see, we finished the first page, that is this card page. Okay, so you were able to see that we were able to get the totals, shipping, subtotal, net total, etc. Okay, so this was actually the code of what? The code of our uh, this is actually the code of our day one. Okay, I'm sorry, this is my final code, and this was the code of our last day. Okay, so here you can see that in last we covered this much. You can see that we were able to see the product image and everything. Okay, in last video we were able to see everything. If I go to next, I am now going to create the shipping container, this payment container, and this success container. So between payment and success, you are going to add your payment gateway. Okay, mark my words, between payment and success container you are going to add your payment gateway. Okay, once your payment is successful, you will go to the success container, else you don't. Okay, right now we'll go to the success container because we want to show the data when the product is order is placed. Okay, so let's start. And one more thing, before moving on, I wanted to show you where is the source code available so that nobody asks me on the comment section later on. Okay, so please watch the videos properly. I provide the source code of every day uh, at the end of every video. Okay, so just visit github.com/virajj014. This is my GitHub profile. You can follow me here. And in the repositories section, we have uh, where is it? Fit grocery. You can see that we have fit grocery, so you can also mark it as a star so that in the star section of your github it's available. Okay, you can check out that it's available, or else you can go to the repository section of my profile and you can definitely search the name fit grocery here. Okay, just type fit and you'll get the repository. Okay, so the source code is available till yesterday. Okay, till yesterday the source code is available and you can check out this. But now we are going to work on the complete checkout section. So let's begin. And yeah, one more thing. So I wanted to actually share the link. Okay, you can check out this link, fit-grocery.parcel.app, to see the real-time changes. Okay, so you can see right now the cart section is might be having some issues. So let's see that what's the issue. Cannot read. Okay, so basically there might be some issues with the cookies part, so I'll just clear the cookie of this one. Okay, there might be some issues because we continuously keep on updating the code. Okay, that's why there might be some issue. So right now you can see that we have 0 items in the cart. Suppose if I go to the cart and say that I want this item, so if I add it from here directly, quantity of 4, add cart. Okay, so let's see that if it's available. So you can see that the item is available here and it's working properly. Okay, so now you can see that this much was done till yesterday, and today we are going to work on shipping section. So I'll be referring this final code. You can see that the final page of shipping info will be something like this, and then you can see that the select payment method will be something like this. And in the confirmation part, right now I'm not showing any bill or invoice, but you can definitely show your bill or invoice or anything you like here. Okay, right now I'm just saying order is successful due to some reasons, because we don't know what kind of invoice is generated honestly. Okay, so I'm just saying that order is successful, but you can generate your own invoice, the format which they use for e-commerce, and the GST number, etc, etc. Okay, so you can create a form at the end once the order is successful. Okay, so the customer can download. And also one more thing, the forms it's also available, will also be available in the user profile section, which we'll be going to create later on. Okay, so right now we'll be focusing on the shipping info, the payment container, and the confirmation container. Okay, so let's begin. And it's the third time I said let's begin. One more thing, in the description, if you want to learn full stack development from basics to advanced level, you can check out a paid course offered by Geeks for Geeks that's available. You can check out the link in description uh, with the text, looking to master your full stack development skills. You can enroll for this course. It is basically a React and Node.js course, and this is very useful for full stack development. If you want to learn it from advanced, uh, from basic to advanced, you can check out this one. If you click through that link, it will take you to this page. Okay, don't forget to check this one. All right, so now we can begin. Final wala begin. Okay, so this was actually our code. This was our code which we have worked till yesterday, and now we'll be adding the shipping section. Okay, so as you can see that this was our uh, top bar. Okay, top bar, basically this is the top bar. Okay, this is the my card shipping, this is our top bar. Okay, and this is the below sections, order successful, etc, etc. So here you can see that the first section is this one, cart container, second is the shipping container. Okay, so now we need to work on this section specifically, and I'll be just writing the HTML code which is required directly here, but you can create components and etc if you want. Okay, it's not necessary to create components, but if you are creating components, make sure uh, you have proper linking between child and parent. Like we are able to send data from parent to child easily, but from child to parent it becomes a little bit complicated, so that we can for that we can use redux and recoil later on. But right now I'm just creating a container like this because this is just the UI part. Okay, so here you can see that we have shipping container text. So what I'll be doing is right now I'll be just writing the styling part. Okay, okay, so I'll say that if active is 2, if active equals 2, instead of this, I have given this a shipping container. I don't need this text right now. I'll be just showing the details here directly. Okay, so here I'll say, first of all, I want to select the delivery date. Okay, very important. So first of all, I want to select the delivery date, and some of the websites allow us to select the delivery date, like after 2 days or 1 week, you can select the delivery date you want. Like some people are not available in the town, so you can select the delivery date they want. Okay, else the company can give their own date, depends on them. Okay, so I'll say my class name will be select date, the select date or a select date. And inside this I'll say that my heading will be h2, heading will be having a class name of suppose I'll say main head 1, main head 1. Okay, inside this you can say select delivery date. Okay, so select delivery date. Now below this I'll say my input tag will be here. The minimum date, I want to select a minimum date. Okay, I'll set a minimum date, and then after that I'll say, suppose my type yeah, type will be date. Okay, and what else do we need is, I'll say my delivery date will be I haven't created the delivery date hook, so you need to create a delivery date hook. Suppose delivery date, I will set the delivery date for now initially 2 days after the order date. Okay, you can set it after 7 days or etc, but right now I'm just taking 2 days after the order date. Okay, so for that we can do one thing, simply create const I'll say delivery date de. So this will be the date which on this day the order will be delivered. Okay, so initially it will be 2 days after from today, but the user can select after 2 days. Okay, after 2 days, that means that if automatically if it's selected, suppose today is 23, so the delivery date will be 25. Okay, 25. All right, so the user can select the date after 25 if they want. Okay, if they want, right now they can select a date after 25 if they want, else minimum time of 2 days will be taken to deliver the order. Okay, that's it. So that's the simple logic. So I'll say set delivery date equals I could have passed directly use date as new date, but what I'll do is right now I'll just say use date, use date. Okay, inside this react we have use date, and I'll say that first of all I want to get a date from 2 days now. Okay, so it will give me a date from 2 days now. So for that we need to just say that I'll get time after 2 days. Okay, the time which will be after 2 days. So for that I'll say 2 days into 24 into 60. That means I'm trying to get the milliseconds after 2 days. Okay, into 60. Okay, into 1000. Okay, so this will give me the milliseconds after 2 days. And so this will be the, you can say this will be the time after 2 days. And don't forget to close uh, this one. And now I'll say that once I get the milliseconds after 2 days, I want the date out of it. Okay, I want the date out of it. So basically it will return the date out of these two days milliseconds. Okay, so whatever will be the milliseconds will be added to current milliseconds from some year 1970 or something. Okay, suppose today is 23, so suppose there are 1000 milliseconds today. Okay, 1000 milliseconds have been covered from 1970s till now. Okay, I don't know the exact date which this is taking for the first date. Okay, but we can say that suppose today is 23, suppose today is 23, and suppose 1000 milliseconds are completed. So after 2 days, suppose 200 more milliseconds are completed. Okay, so the total will be 1200 milliseconds. 1200 milliseconds will be returned by this. 1200 milliseconds will be returned by this, and again we are creating a date out of it. That means 2 days after date will be given to us. Okay, so here you can see that we need to do one more thing. We need to convert it to ISO string. So I'll say to ISO string. Okay, ISO string. Okay, ISO string. Okay, so we'll do one more thing. We'll split it by this. Okay, split it by t. So for example, right now I think you might be getting confused. Just write it as it is, because you don't need to know much about this. If you know about dates, you will be fine. Else you can just write it as it is. Okay, this is just a method which I try to get the date. So I guess let's try to print the date, because this is very important. So I'll do one thing. Mm, I'll be creating a function to set the date. Don't worry about that. But right now, just set a date like this. Okay, I've just gotten the milliseconds after 2 days and created a date out of it and created it to convert it to ISO string. Okay, that's it. So now we'll be focusing again on the UI part. So I'll say that this will be having a value, initial value of delivery date. That means 2 days after today, and we can change it by function calling the function on change, on change. Okay, on change, and inside this, very easy, you just need to say that if user is changing the date, make sure it's 2 days after from today, at least 2 days after from today. And don't forget to close this one, because this is pretty much annoying. So I'll say on change equals uh, yes, one more thing. I'll say minimum date will be what? So minimum date will be this only, because I want the minimum date to be at least 2 days after today. That's it. So just need to copy and paste it here. Okay. So the initial date will be also 2 days from today, and the minimum date selected by user must also be 2 days from today. Okay. So let's take you to that website so that you get an idea of it. So now, if I go back, if I again visit this section. Okay, so right now you are able to see what happened here is, okay, right now you are able to see that we are getting date of 25. Okay, so if I try to change this, you can see that these are gone, these are you can say blur. Okay, so that's what I'm. Abhishek Kumar, why, what about payment gateway? Abhishek, right now we are not focusing on the backend part and on the integration part, and also this product data is static, not dynamic. Okay, so we won't be doing the payment gateway right now, but once we integrate the backend, maybe in future I'll be creating a playlist out of it. Okay, so stay tuned for that, and we'll be creating a playlist for that. I'll be creating the backend on Node.js and MongoDB. Okay, so just wait for that. We'll be creating that, and right now I'm just leaving a blank page for that, so that if anybody wants to integrate payment gateway, they can refer any video on YouTube and get the idea of out of it. Okay, it's pretty easy. You just need to get their API, and callback will be given by the same API, so that you are redirected to the same payment page, or they will give a web view. You can show that web view in your payment section. Okay, so there are many methods, but right now I'm just skipping that because UI part is important. Okay, so here you can see that we can select minimum of 25, and 2 days after that, that means. Okay, so that's this date part. And after this, I'll say that uh, if right now I'll just say I'll print the value. Okay, I'll print, or else you can simply set the select delivery date to the selected date. Okay, suppose you have selected a date as 26, so the delivery date will become 26. Okay, so it will become 26. That means the value of our delivery date will become 26. Okay, so the order will be delivered on 26th. Okay, delivered to you on 26th, but minimum will be 25, because 2 days from today. Okay, so now the delivery part section is done. Now what you have to do is we need to show the previous addresses of any user. So how can we do that? We can simply say that right now I don't have any addresses, right? We don't have any addresses. So let's assume we have some saved addresses. Okay, so for that I'll just create an array. Okay, so here I can go and I'll say just create an array. Okay, just create an array, and I'm not calling it from any backend, so I'll just create it as it is. Okay, you can call the addresses from backend of any particular user. Okay, suppose they have an office address or billing address or their father's address, their mother's address. There can be multiple address by a single user, so all the addresses must be saved here in the saved addresses. Okay, so suppose this data is saved from somewhere and is gotten by some API. Okay, so right now all the saved address of a particular user are must be available here. Okay, so I am just deciding a format. So there might be many lines in an address, but I'll assume that an address usually has 3 lines. Okay, so I think almost every address is covered in 3 lines. So I'll say address line 1. Okay, again address line 2. So there can be some text. Suppose you live in Mumbai, so you can say 91 Street, etc. etc. And you can also assign some address line 2 and similarly address line 3. Okay, so I'll say address line 3. Okay, so address line 3 will be here. And one more thing, I also need the postal code, because you can have multiple things, but also I can say that more than city, postal code is very important. Okay, so you can say that the postal code must be given here so that the address can be easily found. Okay, so there are some APIs which can easily give address lines these address line based on the postal code. So if you have a postal code, you can definitely give the get the address. But I don't know, in India it's not like that, but in the other countries you can get the exact address using postal code. Okay, let it be. We are going to mention all of these are very important. Okay, postal code and also these 3 lines. Okay, address line 1, address line 2, and address line 3. Okay, so for now we are having 2 addresses for now, suppose. Okay, so I'll say address line 1 again, address line 2, and address line 3, and again there can be a postal code. Okay, so suppose this is data coming from the backend, and now we'll be using this data. Okay, so actually I must not have used this way. It's a simple array. Okay, that's it. Okay, this wasn't an arrow function. This was an array. Okay, so you have called an array. Suppose you have called an array from backend. So this is the data. So now we'll be showing this data into front end. Okay, so here you can just do one thing. I'll be creating a division which will give me previous addresses. Okay, so I'll just give it div and close this div, and let's give it a class name of previous previous. Okay, previous. So inside this I'll say my heading will be again you can say class name of main head 1. Okay, main head 1. So inside this you can say previous saved addr address. Okay, so now you can see that we have this previous saved addresses. We need to show the saved address array here. Okay, saved address array here. And if the save address dot length is greater than 0, then we are going to show the data, as we can just say that data not available or anything, or we don't need to show this. Okay, so I'll be saying that if saved addresses are available, we'll be showing this. Okay, sorry we'll be showing the saved addresses array. We'll be mapping the saved addresses array. Else I'll say that again call the empty card one. Okay, empty card one, and inside this do one thing. Right now just say that we no address found. Okay, just say this. Okay, so right now we have addresses, so it will be showing addresses. Okay, suppose if length is, suppose right now if I say this, so you can see no address found is given. So if there is no address, that means this condition will be false. So this will definitely be returned. Okay, so one more thing here, you can see that if a cart is empty, I am showing a p tag something like this. Okay, so let it be. Okay, we don't need to work on this. Okay, so right now I've just given a text. Okay, we can do that later on. But yeah, if we have addresses, we can simply map addresses here. Okay, how can we map addresses here? So just return. Okay, so inside return I'll say just create a division of class name. Okay, I'll just give it a class name, and I'll say that I actually want to select that address. How do we want to select that address? Suppose you are here, you can see that I am getting the address line 123. Okay, and we have the radio button to select the address. That's what I want. If I click on this one, I'm selecting this address for the delivery. If I'm clicking on this one, I'm selecting this address for delivery. That's it. Very simple. Okay, so I'll be saying that let's give it a class name of radio. Okay, radio, and also the key of suppose index. Okay, key of index, because that's very important. And now what else do we need is inside this we first of all need a input. Okay, input, and I'll say type will be radio. Okay, name will be address, and item will be suppose value will be nothing. Okay, right now value will be nothing, or we can actually give it a value. We can actually give it a value. And right now if you are placing the order, you can actually use this value. Okay, so right now I'll say that, or else we can do one thing. Right now I won't be giving this a value. Okay, let it be. We don't need the value here. We have just given it an ID, and the name as address and type as radio. And now we'll be showing the address value. So just say that we have a span here. Okay, sorry, span. Okay, span here. Inside this, simply I'll be giving item dot address line 1. Okay, and you can just give it a comma, and comma can be something like this. Okay, and again you can say item dot address line 2. Okay, what happened here is address line 2 is already declared. It may not exist. Okay, may not exist. Why it may not exist is address line 2. I guess we are fine with this, but I don't know why is it happening. Okay, let it be. So address line 2. There might be some spelling issue. Okay, similarly you need to show the address line 3. Okay, so I'll say item dot address line 3. Okay, you can do one more thing. We can show the postal address. Okay, the postal code. Okay, so here I need to show item dot post postal code. Okay, that's what we needed. So now in the code you can see, if I go to the shipping part, you can see that I'm getting the address to select. Okay, so now you can select whatever address you want like this. So number of addresses will be shown here. Okay, so after this I'll say that if you don't want the selected address, you can create your own new address which will be saved later on. Okay, so first of all I'll say that if you don't want your old addresses, you want to create new address, so here you can just create an h3. I'll just say or. Okay, so or, so do one thing, just give it a class name shipping shipping add. Okay, so here we are going to add a new address. For that we can simply say, first of all, I'll just say we'll be having an input. Okay, so how do we have that? So simply just say input. I just want address line 1, I just want address line 2, address line 3, and also the postal code. That's what we only needed 4 things right now. Okay, so I'll say that we have a button, and that's a save button. Okay, that's it. That's what we needed. Okay, so here you can see that there's a very simple form which we are going to show once we need to add address. So here is the form. You can see that here is the form, and once I click on save, I'll actually refresh the page and show the next new address here. Okay, new address here added. That means the third address. Okay, so now I'm going to style this page so that we can continue. And before styling, okay, let's style this page first. Very fast. We are going to do this very fast. So be prepared for that. Okay, so I'll say that its name will be shippingcontainer dot okay, shipping container dot css. And inside this you can do one thing, shipping container dot css. Okay, so I'll say that import dot slash shipping container dot css. Okay, so that's it. And now after this I actually want to do one thing, shipping container dot css, right? All right, so now shipping container.css will be targeting this. So I'll just copy this and I'll just paste it here. Okay, so we'll be giving it a few styling. So I'll just split it into half so that it's easily visible to us now. Okay, so don't worry about the responsiveness. We'll be figuring out the responsiveness in the next videos. Okay, just focus on these. So here you can see that first of all we have selected the shipping container. Okay, so I'll be going very fast with that because that's similar to the previous sections. So I'll say it will be taking only 70% of the width, and max width can be 1200 pixels so that it doesn't go out of that, and some border radius, some box shadow, background color white, and I want everything in column. Okay, so this is the box shadow which I got. Now we'll be targeting the previous section, that means the all the sections which we got. And before moving on, I actually wanted to show you the just a second. Okay, so I actually want to target the main head one, but we'll be using the main head one a lot of time, so I'll just say my head one. Okay, I guess we have given it main head one, main head one. Okay, main head one. That's it. So inside this, you are again going to say that it will take the green color. That means the color one font size will be something like this. So the heading will be common. Okay, so I've given this an heading, so it will be very useful. So if I click on next, you can see that it adopted the same heading. Okay, so it's useful. You can actually decrease the size from here. So wherever you have used this heading will have a lesser size. Okay, so that's up to you. You can use this or you can create your own heading. Okay, so actually will save a lot of time. Okay, so again go to the shipping container page. Again go to the shipping container page, and here we'll say that first of all I want to target the previous one. Okay, so I'll say that the previous container in shipping container. Okay, in shipping container we'll be having a previous container. Okay, so I hope the code is visible enough. I'll say that the display will be flex first of all. Okay, display will be flex. Okay guys, for now we can do one thing. Here you can see that we have cart. Okay, so I'll say my active is right now initially the active part will be 2. Okay, initially active will be 2, so that I don't need to load this again and again. Okay, so here you can see that we have display flex. Okay, and I'll say the flex direction with the column, so things are in column, you can see. And also do we need is align item center, align items as center, so things are in center. And then I'll say width will be 60%. It will take 60% of the whole width taken by this container, so you can see that it's taking 60%. And what else do we need is I actually can give it some padding, so padding will be 10 pixels, 20 pixels. Okay, so you think you can see that I've given it some padding. So I do want one more thing, I can just make it 80 so that it's fine. Okay, so it's fine, and I guess we are fine with this. And also give it some margin if I want, so that it has some space from top and bottom. Okay, some margin from top and bottom and left and right. So one more thing that is actually nothing. We have covered everything. Okay, I can also give it some gap of 10 pixels so that we have gap in between. That's it what we wanted to do. And now we'll be saying that the heading, the h2 present here will be having this much width. Okay, so I have targeted the specific heading here, so I've said that it will be taking 100%, and but the font size will be 25, so this h2 have some lesser font size. Okay, I wanted it for this specifically. So similarly I'll be saying that the select date container will be having things in column. Okay, will be having things in column, so I'll say the select date container will be having things in column. So you can see that this is the select date container, and actually I guess we committed a mistake here. Okay, let's see what happened. Actually, we have passed everything inside select date container. So let's see what actually uh, we needed to do. Okay, guys, we did a mistake. The mistake was very blunder one. So I'll just cut this part. Okay, just cut this part. And after select date, just paste this. Okay, that's it. So basically, we have three different containers. First one is the select date, second one is the previous, and third one is the shipping address. Okay, so now you can see that it's looking much better than before. All right, all right. So now what else do we need is we have the input container. So input container is quite similar. So I'll just say that my input container will be something like this. So you can see that this is my input container style. Okay, so you can do one more thing. If you actually click on this, I actually want its border color to be green. Okay, so if I click on this, you can see that I have green border color. That's it. That's what I wanted. Okay, so that's the delivery item, and you can see that I've applied this class and I've given this a height, some border and background color, and some text color. Okay, and it's I guess it's gray. Okay, and then you can see some padding and margin and font width and font size. Okay, that's it. Very easy for the input part. Now, what else do we need is I guess we are done with this and I actually have used h3, so I'll say that my h3 heading 3, okay, will be having font size this much. So you can see that this or is actually h3 and we have given this a lesser font size. Okay, that's it. Now we'll be targeting the radio class. Okay, that's not the radio button, it's the radio class. So I'll say the radio class will be having display flex, some margin from bottom. Okay, so I've given some margin from bottom and it will take 100%. Okay, so now I'll say that the radio button will be also having some margin. Okay, so you can see it has some margin, or else we can just give it some gap. Okay, better is a gap. So you can see that it has a gap now. What else do we need is I'll say that the p tag inside the radio class will be having a gray color. Okay, gray color and some font size. So let's decrease it to 15. Have I used a p tag? Oh, actually I haven't used the p tag. I've actually used the span tag. Now you can see that, yeah, address looks something like this. So you can change this to 400 if you want. So now you can see address is something like this, and I guess it's looking fine. Okay, so saved address is something like this. You can select your own saved address if you want. Okay, or what do we need is I need to add I need to look into the shipping address container. Okay, shipping add container. So I'll say shipping add container will be having a display of flex. Display of flex. You can see display of flex. Flex direction is column. And what else do we need is I can say line items will be center. Okay, things must be in center. I want width to be 80%, must take whole width of 80%, and then some padding from top and bottom and from left and right. Okay, and I guess that's it. That's what we needed. Now I'll say my input container. I'll just copy this input part. I'll just copy this input part. Okay, I actually want the same kind of input, so I'll say that the shipping address input container will be something like this. So you can see that, yeah, it's looking pretty much fine. You can see that it's looking pretty much fine. And if I again I can do one thing. I can do one thing instead of this. I can just remove this. Okay, just remove this and just remove this. That's it. So I'll say that all the inputs will be having similar style. Okay, but this will be causing a problem. Actually, it looks fine, but uh, okay. So we actually need to remove this because we have the radio button, so it will cause problems here. Okay. So again, if I focus on this, I want the color to be green. Okay, I want the color to be green. So if I focus on this, you can see that the color is green. Okay. So what else do we need is we actually have this radio, and I'll say the input present inside this type equals radio. Okay, type equals. Actually forgot how can we style the radio tag. Okay, let's see. I actually want the color to be okay. Let it be. Right now, I'm just making it blue. Okay, we'll see that later on. So if you want to style radio button, you can definitely style it from here. Okay, so here you can see that we created a simple form which actually takes addresses, and only one thing was remaining. That was the button. So button is very simple. I'll just say that the button will take 20% of width and height of 30, and you can see that the background color is to green, text color is white, some font size, some font width, and that's it. So you can see that we have the button and it's looking fine. It's looking fine. Okay, so now what do we need is after this we need to target the next page, that is the payment container. Okay, so payment container is very easy. Just you need to add some payment gateways. So right now I'm just choosing three payment gateways, that is PayPal, Paytm, and the cash on delivery method. Okay, so I'll just say that here in the active three, I'll say that one more thing, do one thing, make the active as 3, so we don't need to refresh it again and again right now. Okay, so we have active equals 3. In active equals 3, we wanted to show the payment container. Okay, so how can we do that? Very easy. Right now we'll be just showing the cards which will be having radio button, something like this. Okay, something like this. So if I click on next, so you can see that it's showing the card something like this. So we'll be creating a similar CSS for that. Okay, so again, I'll say that my main head will be select payment method. Okay, select payment method. So instead of this, I'll be getting select payment method with the class main head one. Okay, so some same stylings. That's it. So what else do we need is, I'll say my payment types. Okay, I'll be selecting my payment types. So I'll be saying that this is the division. Okay, I'll say class name will be P Payment Types. Okay, payment types. That's it. Inside this, I'll be saying that division of class name of C1. Okay, class name of C1. So inside this, first of all, you need a radio button, and also we can show the image. Okay, so I'll say my radio button will be having some ID and some payment. Okay, so you can give it an ID of better one, payment ID one. Okay, so that we can easily target it, and that's it. So we have the radio button, and okay, fine. Similarly, we actually need to target the image. Okay, we need to show the image. So I'll say img. Instead of that, you can show the text also. So I'll be showing the image of what? I'll be showing the image of PayPal. Okay, so I'll be showing the image of PayPal. So you can simply search PayPal, okay, PayPal, or any other platform. Okay, and you'll be just going to the image part, or and you can just copy this part. Okay, so copy image address. Okay, and then you can paste it anywhere you want. Okay, so this is some sample which I am using. Just paste the image. Okay, so actually have a better image, so I'll just copy that image. Okay, that's a very short part. Okay, I actually have a very short path, so I'll be using that path. Okay, this is the path for getting the PayPal image. So you can see if I click on this, I'm getting the PayPal image. That's what I needed. Okay, so I have the image now. Okay, and I can give it a alternative of PayPal. If the image is not available, it will give an alternative of PayPal. Okay, that's it. And I'll just copy these, copy, paste, paste. Okay, right now I'll be just showing PayPal here. Okay, so if I reload this, so you can see I'm getting PayPal. Okay, that's it. So now you can replace the images if you want, but I'll be just showing right now this way. Okay, so now the payment container is also done. Payment container is also done. Inside this, we actually wanted to show one more thing. This is the payment types, right? So below this, I'll be saying that I want an agreement. Okay, so I'll say that by clicking this, you agree to our payment terms, etc., etc. Okay, so let's give it a class name of Payment okay, payment agreement. So inside this, I'll be saying that if you agree to the payment and you want to proceed, then you can agree on this. Okay, so don't forget to close this one. Inside this, you will be saying that again, I'll be having a checkbox. Okay, so I'll say I'll be having a checkbox. Okay, and then we'll be also having a label. Okay, suppose we'll be giving it a label, and it will be HTML for agreement, and I agree to the terms and condition. Okay, so if a user select this, that means he has agreed. Okay, that's it. So that's what we wanted, and below that we also want to show the net total, suppose. So we'll be doing this by simply saying that the division, and the class name will be C2, and I'll be saying that SPAN, Inside this you can show the net total. Okay, net total, that's it. And the net total value was what? Net total value was, suppose I don't want this, I don't want in same line, so I'll say an NBSP and NBSP. Okay, so I want things in same line, that's why I'm showing this. Okay, so net total, some space, and then the net total. Okay, so the net total will be what? Very simple. I'll just say inside a span tag, or inside the span tag, I'll say suppose my payment is in dollars. Okay, so actually want it to show only two decimal places. So for that I can first of all add the subtotal plus tax plus, we covered this part in the previous videos, so I don't think I don't need to repeat that. Okay, we have these values coming from the card data. Okay, so I'll say that only show up to two decimals, that's it. Okay, so here you can see that I am getting the net total. Okay, so that's it, that's what we wanted to target for this payment container. So I'll just copy this, and again I'll just create a new style for that. Paymantcontainer dot css. Okay, so here you just need to paste it. Okay, and I'll be saying that the payment container will again be having the box shadow and the width of 50%, etc, etc. Okay, so we also need to call this stylings here. So just say import payment container dot css. As you can see that it's styled because we have given this a box shadow and some width and height. Okay, so after this we have given this an heading of main head one, but I want to style it separately. Okay, so I'll say that it will be something like this. So you can do this if you want, but I know we are fine with this. Okay, so we have the payment type, so I'll say that everything will be in center and in a row. Again, we'll be saying that the c1 container C1 container will be having a 30%. That means each container will be having 30% width. Okay, and also the display will be flexed. Everything will be in center. I'll be giving the box shadow, margin, and padding, and then flex section as column. Okay, again after this we'll be having an image. So I'll just say that the image will be taking width of around 100 pixel. If I say this, let's make it 50 better. Okay, 50. That's it. That's what we wanted. We can actually reduce it a lot more. Okay, that's it. All right, that's fine. So you can see that we have this payment one. So one more thing, we can make it 80 if you want. Okay, fine. So you can see that it's fine enough. And now what else do we need is, I'll say my payment agreement container will be having some width and some gap and some margin. Okay, so you can see that it has some margin. And now we'll be saying that my C2 container, that means the net total one will again will be having this style. That means some box shadow and again this text color. Okay, that's it. So you can see that that payment container is also done. Now the next container is the order successful. Okay, so here you can see that right now I've just shown this one, but instead of this you can do one thing, you can show the invoice of any product. But right now we haven't placed any product and I don't know much about the invoice stuff, so right now I've just given this empty space. I'll be doing one thing. So here you can just say that in the order successful we will be showing the step the order successful. uh, we can show the image here. Okay, we can show the image here. So how can we show that? Let's go to hero icons for now. Hero icons, and I'll say CUCCESS. No, we don't find that. CORRECT. Okay, so I'll be just showing the correct one. Okay, so I'll just copy this JSX and I'll be saying that here just show the SVG, just show the SVG, and also the heading H2 main head one order placed successfully. So what will happen here is, so if you go to the success one, okay, sorry, not here, here one. So here you can see that I'm getting order placed successfully and the icon. So I'll just style it a bit. So I'll say that the order successful. Uh, I'll just create a separate CSS for that. Order SUCCESSFULL. I guess the spelling is right. .js. Okay. So I'll just call the styling here. Okay. Order successful. S successful dot css. Okay, that's it. So that's how we called the order successful. Okay, I actually made a mistake. It's actually css. Okay, css. Okay, that's fine. So in order successful.css, I'll be targeting this. I'll be saying that the display will be flex, and yes, I guess the column must be fine. So I'll say flex selection will be column. Okay, and everything will be in center. Justify content. Okay, I'll say that the justify content will be center, and I'll be saying that the width will be suppose around 70%. Okay, and I can say that the max width will be 1200. And what else do we need as background color as white, and I'll say that it will be having a border radius of 10 and also some box shadow. So box shadow will be something like this. So you can see that I'm having a box shadow. What else do we need is we actually need to target the SVG inside. Okay, so I'll say that the SVG inside will be having width of 100, height of 100, and you can actually give it a color of, again, this green. Okay, so now you can see that order placed successfully. I actually want the color one. Okay, green one. Okay, so you can see that order placed successfully, and now we can go to home. Okay, so now you can see that it's working pretty much fine, and right now I'll just make it as it is. That means one. Okay, so here you can see it will start something like this. If I go to next, it will show me the address section. If I click on next, it will show me the select payment method. If I click on this, and you can actually add condition, like if you haven't clicked on this, you can't go to next page. Okay, right now everything is free, so you need to select the payment method and also this, and you can click next. So below, between this, you can actually show the payment method. I mean the payment gateway, like suppose you are using PayPal, so you can call the PayPal API and you can use their API, whatever they are using. If you use Paytm, you can call their API and you can complete the payment. So there are many methods you can implement the payment gateway by watching YouTube tutorials. Right now we are not focusing on that, but once I build the backend part, okay, we'll be creating a separate CSS, separate playlist for that. Okay, so just wait for that. Once we complete the backend, we can definitely integrate the API, but right now we can't rely on that for fake payments. Okay, so that's it, and now you can see that this section is completed. And also if I click on home, order placed successfully. Okay, it actually is giving order placed successfully. I made a mistake. uh okay, so in fourth one we have the buttons, but I don't want this. I'll just say history.push, and actually the history, I don't want this. I'll just say window dot location dot load. Okay, so if I click on go to home, it will load the home page. Okay, that's it. So you can see that the flow is very fine. So suppose if there are no products, if I remove this, you can see that the cart is empty, so it won't move further. You can see that it's not moving further, so that's the benefit. Okay, you can't move further without having any items in cart. Okay, we have done this in previous videos. And what else do we need is, okay, so if we have items in cart, suppose if I add an item from cart, suppose we add, I want this much of shampoo. I want this much of shampoo. Okay, suppose let's make it 40. Okay, add to cart. So now items are added to cart, and here you can see that we are getting 40 items, and each item has price of 80, and the total is calculated. Very fine, very fine. So there are some problems with the stylings, but you can see that it's in the responsiveness part, else it's fine. So you can see that the shipping charge is 80 fixed, and also some total, and also some net total, and so on. You can also add your own formulas for this, but I know it's working fine. So this is also working fine. You can see that a real time changes here. Okay, and also if I click on next, it will take me to the address page. Very beautiful. If I click on next, it will take me to this page. Okay, payment method. If I click on next, it will be actually processing the order. Right now we don't have payment gateway, so I have just displayed it directly. Okay, so you can see that it's working fine. If I click on this, it will take me to the go to home. Okay, so that's it for today. Now I'll be uploading the source code on GitHub. So I'll be just closing this. Yes, git add dot git commit m. I'll say that today is, I guess, day 13. Okay, so day 13, and then I'll say git push. Okay, git push. So the source code is uploaded on GitHub, and here you just need to visit my GitHub profile. Okay, so in your browser you just need to type github.com/virajj014. Okay, just visit this URL and it will take you to my profile. Don't forget to follow me here. I upload all my source codes here. You can see that I am an active contributor. Okay, so in the repositories section, you need to check about fit grocery, and you can also mark it as a star so that it's available for you in your stars section. Or else you can search fit grocery here if you don't find this repository after some time, because I am a frequent updater and it will go down. Okay, so you can search the name here if you want to find the repository fit grocery, and you can click this and you can download the source code or clone this if you want. Okay, and here also the URL is present for the live view. Okay, I uploaded this on Varcel on the very first video. You can check out that video. So just click on this and it will take you to the Varcel page. I hope the code is uploaded, and if I click on this you can see, yeah, the code is uploaded and it's also deployed on Varcel automatically. That's the benefit of Varcel. Okay, so I don't need to do anything. It's connected with GitHub. I have explained how can we do that on first video. Okay, you can check out the first video. So the shipping container is fine. If I click on this, you can see that it's fine. Go to home. Okay, so you can see everything is working fine. And in the next video, we'll be covering the next section, that is the user profile section and the responsiveness of this website. Else, I think everything is covered, and the product page is also visible. If I click on this, it will give me the product page. Okay, so you can see that everything is looking fine. Yeah, there are some tweaks with the responsiveness. We'll be covering that in the responsiveness videos of the same uh, playlist. Okay, so I hope you understood this. And before ending this session, I wanted to show you one thing. In the description, you'll find a link of a paid course offered by Geeks for Geeks. So you can just visit that course if you want to purchase that. Okay, this is a full stack development course, and it will teach you to the advanced level of full stack development in reactjs and node.js. Okay, so definitely check out this one if you want to learn advanced stuff. And some normal stuff and intermediate stuff is also available on our YouTube channel. You can check out our on uh, you can check out our YouTube channel also. Okay, so I hope you understood this video, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, see ya, have a good day. Peace out. Bye bye.